So, Lou, last month I told a story about losing myself in a paddock, but this month you've lost something far more precious in a paddock.
Yes, it was a bit of a sad story. I was having a wonderful time.
Mm-hmm.
I'd gone to a workshop put on by the local land services, and it was called Healthy Farm, and it was at Avoca.
Mm-hmm.
And I drove into this most beautiful property. Lots of really big trees, absolutely gorgeous. And we were taken around the property and shown all the work that this owner had done to stem erosion. The property was quite hilly up and down, and so he was worried about the water and keeping the water contained. And we had a walk with an ecologist, Steve, who I think you know, and he talked to us about the trees. There were brown barrels. The soil is delicious. It's that delicious soil. You want to eat it. It's bright red and really friable, and it's basalt. I know, I love basalt. I wish I had basalt instead of rotten old shale, but still could be worse. And so we had this lovely day, and he showed us all these devices that he had developed with the local land services. They had helped him very much, actually. He'd taken on their expertise on how to stop water just running all over paddocks and making a complete mess and splitting up banks and so forth. And in some cases, it would just be a matter of throwing a number of rocks in an area to slow down the water. And in other cases, there was a very expensive and flash-looking slope of concrete with actually holes in it, things sticking out of it. And it was at the lowest level of one of the 3 dams. And the water was just, because it had been very, very wet, was just pouring down that concrete slope. But then it went into a purpose-made pool where it stayed so that it could slowly move through a ditch, really, which he'd lined with gum trees. He'd planted the edges so that they would be held in place, so that there would not be all this splurging of water that would sort of break the legs of his cows and, puggle up and just horrible. So it was a lovely day, and I was so impressed how well organised it was. And I got back into my car, or actually I got to the car park, and what did I find? I found I'd lost my car keys.
Oh, no.
I know. And I was...
And you'd been traipsing over paddocks all day.
All day.
Oh, Lou.
And they were all sort of tufted, and looking very good. Like, where would you look for a bunch of keys in several paddocks around several dams? But the owner, Tom, and Steve, they were very, very kind, and they walked with me the entire route we had taken that day.
Oh, Lou.
And we spread out and we looked everywhere for these wretched keys. And we never found them.
Oh, darling.
No.
So did you have to hitchhike home?
No, but I did have to ring my partner.
I bet that was well received.
I had to keep the phone a long way from my ear.
Oh,
yes.
sweetie.
Not best pleased. No.